This is the Best or Worst Podcast. And now, here are your hosts, Koji Steven Sakai and M. Martin Mapoma.
Hello, welcome. My name is Martin.
My name is Koji.
And you're listening to the Best or Worst Podcast here in... Go ahead and say it. Nothing.
I don't know.
You got nothing?
I don't know.
No, man, I was making it spectacular. It doesn't matter.
My office?
Yeah.
Podcast studio?
I like podcast studio.
The podcast studio.
If you guys ever see the videos, this is such a cool room.
Yeah, it's my office.
How to turn this into a man cave so fast. All you use a TV and we'll talk about this later. Previous podcast, guys, we did the Christmas gifts one, and Koji fell asleep when I was talking about video games. And then our kids were taking jiu-jitsu together, and what do I see him doing? Playing a video game, and I'm like, what the hell?
I hate video games, and I hate people who talk about video. I don't talk to you about my video games.
No, but...
I play so little.
Oh, no. The way I took it was like, if you saw a video game, you'd like just throw up instantly.
No.
And you were into that. Anyway, he was playing a video game.
I've always played video games. I don't play a lot. I'd rather do other things. But if I'm sitting there watching my son do jiu-jitsu, I have pretty much...
You said you play one game. That's what I play pretty much.
Yeah, but I play like, in a given week, maybe like 5 minutes, just to pass my time. 10 minutes.
5 minutes? That's not gaming.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
I was just shocked because you were so adamant, and then I looked down and I'm like, wait a minute.
But it's like telling fishing stories. Like, people don't want to hear fishing stories. It's like...
Unless you're a fisherman, too.
No, nobody... Even if you're a fisherman. I mean, it's like telling people...
I'm a fisherman. You know that, right?
It's like telling people dreams. Like, when you tell people about your dreams, you're like...
I don't do that.
It's like, oh, it sounds great to you because you had this awesome dream, but when people are hearing, they're like,
I've only done it to pick up on a girl. Hey, I had a dream about you.
Oh,
it's
worked. Terrible.
And I'm like...
God.
The one time it's worked once, and I was like, "Wow, you fell for that."
Well, I think it's just more confidence.
Huh?
It's more about just being confident and talking to it.
Exactly.
It's less about what words come out of your mouth.
Oh man, that's so true. No, it is, dude. Because I keep talking about myself about this, but yeah, I see myself go from like being a hero to the zero so fast.
Yeah. Well,
when trying to pick up on a girl, I just can't stop. I literally watch my mouth moving. I'm like, shut the fuck up, and see their face just drain.
I mean, that's another reason I always tell my son, like our last episode about being replaceable, is that like there's strength in this idea that you like this person. She's obviously cute, but she's not the only one out there.
Oh,
and if you walk up to somebody with that kind of attitude, like. People respond because it's like if you go up like, oh my god, you're a fucking queen, and you're like the most beautiful person. It's like
so sad.
A, that person's like kind of weirded out by you, but B, it's also like you've already given up your cookies. You know?
Yeah, no, it is. Oh, dude, it's so true. It's so true.
One of my really good friends would walk up to a girl at a club and be like, "I'm never gonna dance with you," and then by the end of the fucking night, they're dancing. And it's
really.
And it like totally, it's like weird reverse psychology. I think it's really stupid because it's like, well,
but it worked for him, didn't it?
It totally worked for him because, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like,
so it's not stupid.
I even talked to him. I'd be like, well, obviously, if you go up to her and you tell her that you're not cute and you're not gonna dance, like, why would you go up to somebody and tell them that unless you actually thought that? But it works. It totally works because it's like because every other guy's been like,
I've always said this, I tell this to Grayson. I said, you treat the hot ones like they're ugly, and the ugly ones like they're hot, and you'll never have a problem. Because pretty girls, and I don't know if you hear how that sounds, but pretty girls hear it all the time, and their guard is always up.
Yeah.
And and some of the girls I've actually gone out with or dated, that was fun to get with. We started it because of indifference, because I was just indifferent.
Yeah. And
then I've heard that so many times from people too.
Well, that's the whole point of being replaceable.
When you're a lapdog in a relationship, either whether you're the boyfriend or the girlfriend, it never works out.
Yeah. Well, that's why if you go in with this like, well, you're obviously special because I like you.
Yeah.
But you're not the only one out there in the world. There's a strength in there.
And I learned, unfortunately, I learned that really late in life because I was the kind of guy. I mean, I had several relationships where I kept my mouth shut because I felt like I was so lucky I would never get this lucky again. And it always ended up wrong because I excused such bad behavior because I didn't think. Yeah, that was good enough.
I think we all went through that, right? Where we have to change and be somebody else, or to like.
Yeah, but I feel we do. But I always felt like because it was my situation. Obviously, I felt like it was worse, but I'm not like that anymore. And that's one thing I tried not to. I'm trying to instill in my son not to be that way, and I think it's working because he's like his mom. But anyway, so we're here at episode 15.
15.
And
15
I am.
episodes.
It's just me and the G. doing our thing today. So I am going to ask Koji about the best and worst moments of his life. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to ask.
I think
it's or, but I'm just trying to you're always you're salty a little bit. So I'm going to, no,
you should do the worst.
Huh?
I think the worst is the
No,
worst.
you always talk about the worst stuff.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Now you really want to do the worst. Now I really want to do the best. Okay, I feel like you have something prepared when you do the worst.
I don't have anything prepared, actually. I haven't
What?
thought about it, so.
Your computer's right there. You're about to break it open.
Why would I break up something about my own worst?
I don't know. All right. Okay. So, anyway, by the way, how are you today, Koji?
Why is it always right before we get into something you want to start talking about?
Because it's my thing, I guess.
Yeah, that is your thing. I'm fine. I'm good.
It's my segue.
It's almost the end of the year.
It is.
Shooting something tonight, and so then I've shot 3 things this month, and it's been that's crazy. I know you're salty about it. My apologies.
It's a story of my life, man. I don't know what to say about that one, man. Hurt my feelings. That's what the dude you guys use too. And I was like, I'm gonna be.
He's way younger. I'm sorry.
He is the black dude, right?
Yeah, we're trying to do people of color, but
How old is he?
He's like 31. He's like a baby compared to you.
Because my grade.
You're like 90.
I'm a baby. What am I? I'm on the high end scale of the baby boomers.
You're not the high end scale. You're the end of the baby boomers.
I hate feeling old.
Because what year were you born?
65? No.
67?
66.
66? Oh, 65 is way different. 66 is the end of the baby boomers, basically. So you're not like totally a baby boomer.
No, I'm a baby boomer. Baby boomers ended 64 or something like that. I'm like 2 years after.
No,
I'm generation.
You're not X.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're not X.
You should look it up.
No, I'm 100% sure.
You're 100% sure?
I'm a super fan of generational. Like, first of all, generations are like, depending on who you talk to.
You should look up I'll look it up. When baby boomers ended.
So there's no 1 year. There's a lot of different, like, if you talk to a lot of different people, they'll say, like, it's different times. It's really how you feel. Like, for example, I'm Generation X, but I'm at the cusp of Generation X. Because it's anywhere between 77 to 80.
That's what I mean.
I think baby boomers is typically end of 64 to 67.
65.
64, 66. So you're like right there.
No, 65. 1945 to 1965.
Okay, so wait, first of all.
Generation X between 1961 and 1981.
So, see, I think you're looking at one website. There's lots of websites that do
No, there's more. There's more. Same thing here. 65. Wow, he could be a Generation X if you were born in 1961. I don't know. Those numbers are all relevant. I never.
But that's what I mean. It's like, so for example, the reason I'm not Generation X is because I went to high school with the internet. Like I was emailing my professors. So I grew up in a time when there's internet. Wow. Whereas my brother, who's real Generation X, he like emailing and internet was until like his professional life. And for a long time, it was just a fun thing to do. Whereas the internet and emailing was central to my life from a very early age.
He's older, right?
He's 4 years older.
Yeah, so that makes sense because when I remember writing my thesis in college on an actual typewriter.
Yeah, see. Whereas like I was literally like I chat with my professors online, and so that's why I don't feel like that's why I don't feel closeness to Generation X, even though I'm on the cusp of it basically. But anyway, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So what are you gonna ask me?
All right, I want to ask you about the best moment of your life.
The best moment of my life.
Yeah.
This is
no.
It's super not as interesting as my worst. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Oh, you know what? I meant to say worse. I meant to say worse. No, I want to do worse.
We can do best. We can do best.
No. I want to do worse because I'm curious. Now I'm curious. I know the worst. I know your best was that little guy getting born. It sounds corny, but
but one of the caveats is we don't do.
I know. I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah.
But I want to do the worst moment of your life.
But I don't think the best would be him being born because it was super scary. Right? It's like I don't know if like I had the best feeling because I was just like
freaking out.
Yeah, because you're just like, oh my god, there's this kid, and I don't know anything.
I was terrified when Chuck came in,
and that's why like it's like I mean, of course there's excitement and stuff in it, but it's also like, oh my god, what did I do?
When his little head popped out, they told me you can't have cameras in the room or you can't be taking pictures. I was like, fuck that, I'm taking a picture. And the doctor looked at me, he goes, trust me, you're gonna drop the camera. As soon as I saw the head crown, I just went, whoa, and totally forgot to film. And I had that film somewhere, but it was pretty hilarious.
Who must have filmed that? I didn't want to film it.
No, I didn't film that. No, I actually didn't film that actual part. Oh. She would have killed me.
Yeah.
But I filmed them when they were like, clearing his breathing passes and that kind of stuff. And I remember when he was born, they were like, "Oh my God, his eyes are so big," and I was like, "Yeah." But anyway, worst moment, Mr.
Right.
Koji.
So worst moment. So
Yes.
okay, so let's talk about this real quick, or not quick, I guess. So when I was in, so we've talked a lot about like my childhood, I think.
Yeah, we have
on this podcast. So when I was an infant, 6 months, my dad went missing. He had a heart attack, or no, he had a stroke in the car. This is not my worst. This is the lead up to the worst stuff, right? But he had a stroke in the car. He was missing for a couple days.
What?
And things kind of just went sideways from there. So my dad basically ended up taking care of me. This is one of the reasons me and my son had such a great relationship, is because me and my dad had a great relationship. He went on disability. He was not the same person, but he could take care of me. He drove me around and went to all my games and stuff, and we were really close. So anyway, we kind of had an interesting relationship with everybody, just him being sick and all. So I kind of, at some point, he went blind. He had a heart attack and went blind, and I started taking care of him in high school. Anyway, there's a long way to say that like childhood was interesting in that way.
Yeah.
So when I went to college in the when I went to college, and I had a lot of.
How old was he when he had a stroke?
When I was 6, how old was he?
Yeah.
I think he was in his 40s, early 40s.
That's young, isn't it?
Yeah, he was really young. He died young. He died when I was 20.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, he died pretty young. So he was always sick all my life, basically.
Yeah.
And so I think, my life I never really figured stuff out. Everybody in my life, like I was constantly worried about people dying in my life. My dad was like super sick. I remember sleeping in front of my mom and dad's door, thinking that my dad would die in the middle of the night and my mom wouldn't tell me.
Man.
And so, I basically when I went to college, it was the first time I tried to sleep in beds. Because every night I'd sleep on the floor outside my mom and dad's room until like high school. Then I'd sleep on the floor in my room because I was used to sleeping on the floor.
Are you kidding?
That's how it's funny because like my mom was an immigrant and she would step over me at night, which is hilarious because now if I saw my kids sleeping on the floor, I'd be like, oh shit, like let's go to therapy, right? Like
your mom just stepped over.
She stepped over me and it's like a thing, right? But yeah, so like it was kind of like there's a lot of trauma there, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting things that are happening, and I think like a lot of my childhood was taken in that way, in that like I just didn't have a lot of like I just thought everyone was leaving me. Everyone was dying on me. Everyone I loved died on me. So anyway, when I got to college, I met this girl, and things were. But now this is where the story gets into it, right? So I met this girl.